Ho 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 everybody, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. That's right everybody, as of me recording this, it is Christmas Eve and doubt I'm going to be able to get this video out before Christmas, so Merry late Christmas and Happy New Year. Or if you don't celebrate Christmas, I'll give you the Walmart greeter version of the intro. Happy holidays. Please ignore the fact that this hat is too small for my head, so yeah, moving on. Now the topic might not be very Christmas themed, but it is a rather big throwback, as we're talking about a very specific genre in the fan fiction alternate universe realm. We're talking about infections. And the first time I talked about infection AUs in this channel, it was about the colorful pink little ponies of the My Little Pony universe, and that turned out to be rather horrifying. So I thought it'd be fun to talk about another twisted version of colorful children's entertainment. Trolls. And me personally, I thought Trolls was scary enough because it already involves James Corden.
Look at him, look at what a beautiful face.
Now most horror infection AUs operate the same way. It has a pre-existing universe and then introduces a supernatural or biological infection that spreads around and twists and distorts the characters. Pretty much like a zombie apocalypse most of the time. And the biggest channel I found on TikTok that has all of the Trolls infection AU artwork of theirs as one cohesive narrative would be the channel Chairnoizes on there, so shout out to them. And also shout out to the channel JC, as I found the video that has all of Chairnoizes artwork in one spot for me to use. But yes, all of the original art and work is Chairnoizes, so technically shout out to both of them. But yeah, go follow and support and show them love. And hey, tell them Willie sent ya. Now full disclosure guys, okay, Trolls is a little after my time, okay? I was already an older teenager when Trolls and Trolls 2, Trolls 3, all those three movies, I think there's 3 movies, when they all came out, I was kind of not interested in it, so I never ended up seeing the Trolls movie. I think my niece liked them, but yeah, so I don't really know all the lore and the characters all very well within the Trolls universe, so don't be asking any Trolls lore or character motivations to me. I'm just here to read some fan fiction, okay? I'm sorry to break that to everybody, but it's true. And content warning for you guys, as is the case for the last couple videos I did, you might see your favorite childhood characters drawn or depicted in not so family friendly ways. So if that is going to make you uncomfortable, then I suggest you skedaddle right now, alright? Just go on and get. So without further ado, let's get into Trolls infection. Branch? Creek? Where are you? Guy Diamond. Status negative. Shortly after the outbreak, Guy Diamond volunteered to take Poppy's place as the nanny for Pop's Village's children. As more and more parents are infected, Diamond's responsibilities became draining, caring for several distressed children alone, while still making sure to care for his own son. Poppy. Status negative. Distraught over Branch's disappearance and overwhelmed by the rapidly growing numbers of infected, Poppy feels defeated. Her fears of failure as queen caught up to her, and now she isolates herself from everyone else in the bunker. Branch. Status unknown. 3 days before the outbreak, Branch has been declared missing. King Peppy. While assisting Creek's mysterious wounds after his return, King Peppy contracts the infection. After him and other trolls grow sicker, and Creek suddenly going missing alongside Branch, he ordered all healthy trolls into Branch's bunker, leaving him and other infected trolls above the surface. Peppy is now searching for Branch and Creek alone. Poppy does not know of Peppy's absence. Creek has been found. Okay, I can see this is going the same route as an MLP infection, so I'll tell you this right now, there's going to be a lot of narration and character stats, so just be aware of that, okay? Just, anyway, let's move on. I'm excited to see more creepy art. You've done so much for us. We'll gladly help in any way we can. Please don't blame yourself, Poppy. Bridget. Despite having little information on the illness, it's been quickly discovered that Bergens are immune to the disease. Bergen Town has welcomed infected trolls. Bridget, leading the officially elected royal team to provide medical care, they hope to identify the disease and look for a cure. Bridget has offered to invite Poppy to stay with her in the castle. Biggie. Status negative? The mass transfer of healthy trolls to the bunker was mayhem, and during the chaos, Mr. Dinkles was lost. Regardless, Biggie was forced to move into the bunker without him. Each day, Biggie wakes up more panicked until sleep was not possible. After 2 weeks, Biggie disappeared. Cooper. Status infected, stage 2. Being one of the first trolls to contract the infection, Cooper is one of the known later stage sick individuals. Documented symptoms include color loss, whole body swelling, vomiting, and tooth decay. Signs of white mold seem to be growing on the fur. When awake, frantic pacing has been noted, while demanding for a bath. It appears that Cooper may be falling in and out of consciousness. King Peppy has not returned. Branch has not returned. Creek has not returned. Mr. Dinkles, please, come out. It's me. Please. We're safe now. Mr. Dinkles? What happened to you? Wait, is Mr. Dinkles the worm? He's the worm, right? I know he is. Mr. Dinkles is like the worm that goes like,
I told you we needed more glitter.
Pretty sure that's him. Alright, anyway, sorry, I'll keep going. Yo, what happened here? Gnarly. Weeks have passed. Bergen Town has converted itself into the prime research and medical location for diseased individuals. Rumors have spread within the borders. Words that the sickness can infect other species and citizens are preparing for a county-wide lockdown. The number of sick trolls are soaring, with still no updated information on how to treat the disease. Symptoms are speeding up with worsening stages, with many patients in near critical condition. Many wonder if recovery would even be possible. No matter from where or to whom, the disease affects all trolls. Queen Barb, status negative. After experiencing radio silence from Pop Village, Queen Barb took it upon herself to visit Poppy to discuss the floods in Volcano Rock City. Barb is unaware of the outbreak. Floyd, status negative. Weeks before the first recorded outbreak, Floyd fled Pop Village and barricaded himself in his own home. He has chosen to remain in solitude, keeping in touch with the outside world through the internet. He checks a variety of news outlets on social media daily, increasingly worried for the state of other locations. He seems to know more than what's documented. Delta Dawn. Status infected. Stage 3. Days since Queen Delta has disappeared, a search party of her citizens have found her inside Lonesome Flats Water Tower. While Delta seemed docile at first, she became increasingly aggressive after attempts were made to remove her. Delta seems to show unique symptoms separating her from previous stages: intense swelling, leaking orifices, and constant self-destructive behavior. Substances seem to squirm under her skin. Techno Reef has fallen. Queen Poppy, status negative. After moving in with Queen Bridget and King Gristle Jr., Poppy seems to slowly get better emotionally. She sees all the effort the Bergens have put into their research and care, and has become more hopeful for a potential cure. Poppy still waits for Branch's return. Essence and Quincy, status infected, stage 1. The sickness has devastated Vibe City, despite implementing strict guidelines to prevent spread, including wearing masks, restricting social gatherings, and bathing daily. The entire royal family, who have held strongest to the guidelines, has been infected. After losing both sons, Queen Essence and King Quincy have accepted defeat and chose to isolate themselves, waiting for the sickness to take its course. Symphony Village has been destroyed. While Bergens are immune to the sickness, heavy restrictions have still been implemented in order to protect trolls and potentially other species. Diligent research has concluded that substances with disease exposure may be sanitized using high temperatures. Contaminated items have since been disposed of through burning, but plastic
does not burn. It melts.
Whoa, what are you doing? Back off, man. Get your hands off me! Stop. Stay back. I'm warning you, man. I swear to God, if I see that face in the corner of my room in the middle of the night, it's something. Come on. I prefer the Trolls from Troll 2. Okay, best movie. So as we can see, this mysterious infection has completely devastated the world of the Trolls. And Chairnoizes has expanded beyond her little art, which, by the way, is very good. I really like her art and writing so far with the character status pages and all that. But she seems to have hit us with a BMS instructional video, so let's watch.
This is a public announcement brought to you by the Bergen Town Medical Sciences Facility. In light of current events, there has been growing public concern for health and safety. Questions we've been asked are, what is this disease? Can this disease infect other species? How can we stop the spread of this disease? Do we have an answer to any of these questions? Our research facility's top medical scientists have worked remarkably to prove, yes. Here, we are fully confident that you will have all information that you will need to know on current events. Much mystery has been circled around this current illness. Now we know everything. Despite popular belief, this is not a virus. Current studies have concluded that we are seeing the work of a pathogenic fungus. The DMS facilities have labeled the newly identified sickness as the Pontus fungus. Pontus is a multicellular pathogenic fungus that changes behavior within hosts. Desired hosts are small organisms made up of soft tissues that the fungus can expand inside and break through after maturation. Despite desiring small hosts, Pontus is a zoonotic pathogen that can infect several species of different sizes, however symptoms vary. Troll species infected may show early symptoms of swelling, hair loss, self-destruction, and leaking fungal matter through orifices. Trolls are the most vulnerable to the disease, with risk of severe injuries and even death. The majority of prioritized patients within Bergen Town borders are severely infected trolls. Infected patients must be quarantined, due to spores easily spreading through skin-to-skin contact. Vacationers species infected may only show mild symptoms of eye discomfort, eye discoloration, and tearing of the eyes. Sinus issues may also occur. Vacationers are much less vulnerable to Pontus, and will only show slight and temporary irritation, however many patients are still accepted for treatment. Majority of miscellaneous species are immune, some show only minor symptoms similar to that of vacationers, and are of less priority within our medical facilities, however are still eligible patients within our borders. Regions are banned from entrance. There are many ways that you can help our friends and our community. Remember to mask up, wash your hands, keep a proper distance from others, and be a helping hand for those in need. Finding the cure starts with you. To learn more, go to www.dmsfacilities.gov/how.
It's in the water. 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 It's in the
Okay, so now we have a name for our mysterious infection, and apparently it's not a virus or bacteria or seemingly even supernatural. It's just a fungus, the Pontus fungus, which makes sense because, the trolls, they live in the forest, so it would make sense that a mutated fungus could potentially cause this much havoc, and I think that's kind of cool the way they wrote that in the trolls mythos, the trolls universe, if you will. All right, now I'm invested. I'm just really invested to see where the story goes. But there is one more video I have to play. That's another emergency announcement before I start getting back to the narration.
We interrupt our current program by the demand of the Bergen Town State Militia. This is an emergency announcement to alert Bergen Town residents. This is not a drill. All programs have been interrupted. Please listen carefully for further instructions.
Attention Bergen Town residents. At 2:53 a.m. February 4th, authorities have been alerted to a recent surge of Rayjuan sightings in the northern Bergen Town area. These incidents pose a serious threat to public safety. We urge all residents to stay inside and exercise extreme caution at all times. Local law enforcement agencies are actively investigating these incidents and deploying additional resources to address the situation. However, we urge everyone to take proactive measures to safeguard themselves and their families through the following methods. Lock all doors and windows. Turn off all room lights. Gather everyone away from doors and windows. Additionally, we encourage residents to remain armed with a lethal weapon and to keep fully covered if available. You hear knocking at any door or window? Do not answer. Remain calm and stay out of sight. Has entered your home. Do not panic. Remain calm and stay out of sight. You have been cornered by a Rayjuan. Fight and do not let the Rayjuan leave open wounds. You possess a firearm and spot a Rayjuan at any location. Aim and fire the target on sight. Do not stop until the Rayjuan is no longer moving. If you witness any suspicious activity or signs of an attack, please do not hesitate to contact emergency services immediately. Your cooperation is crucial in ensuring the safety and security of our community. We advise avoiding isolated areas, traveling in groups whenever possible, and refraining from engaging with any potential infected threats. Please stay tuned to local news outlets and official channels for updates and safety advisories. Together, we can work to mitigate this threat and protect our community from harm. Stay safe. Remember, finding the cure starts with you.
All right, we clearly see that Bergen Town has descended into basically a martial law scenario, so let's just see where this AU takes us, shall we?
Can I please go to the arcade? It's just across the street.
Okay, take JD with you. And if you hear even a door creak, you better run right back over here. Understand? Ever since the live BMS broadcast has been infiltrated by an unknown source, panic erupted across all nations. Mass hoarding of bottled water has caused shortages in all markets. Many have begun to boil all the water sources before consumption, while several desperate people have resorted to buying bottled water from scalpers. Many of these scalpers taking cruel measures to make a profit. While the infected may look unnerving, they are not naturally aggressive. Infected do not attack unless prompted to, for territorial purposes. Pontus does not naturally spread this way. The fungus only seeks to control the host just enough to lead them to bodies of water, so it may mature. In all affected stages, when left alone, they are harmless. Pontus does not naturally make their hosts aggressive. It has no reason to, unless there's something stopping it from maturation. The Rayjuans are not natural beings. Skin made of vinyl, eyes reflect only of epoxy. They have no real lungs, no veins, no beating heart. Their skin cannot absorb water, even though that does not stop Pontus' spread through consumption. The fungus will then grow as usual, waiting until it can sprout and break through the tissues. But being so flexible, the Rayjuan skin can stretch and stretch and stretch and never break. Pontus has adapted. It has changed them. It has made them more hungry. I can clearly see the creator was inspired by The Last of Us. You know, the The cordyceps fungus. Just want to put that out there. And by the way, I'm hyped for season 2. John Dory. Status negative. Disgruntled with his brother's actions and resentful of Bruce, John Dory would rather spend his time alone. During one of his solo walks, JD was caught in a small Rajon mob, barely escaping uninfected. After he was tended for his wounds and forced to stay inside while healing, he's now more bitter than ever. Despite wanting to take off so badly, he simply can't leave him behind. Bruce. Status negative. Drowning in guilt and shame, Bruce hermits himself inside a box in their shelter. No matter how much prodding his brothers do, he refuses to eat and will only drink if he boils the water himself. As much as he misses his family, several reasons hold him back, and Bruce especially couldn't live with himself if he left him behind. Clay. Status negative. Clay is holding up surprisingly well under the terrible conditions they're in. Clay tends to stay inside the shelter, babysitting, and keeping the place secure. He spends his time reading aloud happy stories for a change, though still reads a sad book here and there if asked. For the first time in a long while, he makes sure to fill his days with small amounts of fun, and his heart is full. Even if he had the opportunity to, Clay would never leave him behind. Stay gold, pony boy. Viva. Status negative? Finding herself trapped after the second time leaving the golf course, Viva has not been holding up since the collapse of Mount Rageous. She only agreed to tag along with Clay on their tour, thinking she'd return safely, as promised. Now she feels betrayed. Viva doesn't know who to trust, as she feels she could be abandoned any minute. Viva doesn't even trust her own body, ever since she started ticking frequently and fainting randomly. She feels that she has almost lost all control of herself, except when she draws pictures with him. She can't leave him behind. Branch. Status negative? It was his idea to run, and now it was his idea for them to stay in the melting city. While his brothers hunker down in defeat, he scouts for resources. He fights for a better future. No matter how devastating things may be, he can't give up. Not when Poppy could still be out there. Now, after finding him alone and defenseless, Branch knows he can never go back to Pop Village or to Bergen Town. But leaving him behind is not an option. Kid Ritz. Status negative. The fall was so sudden. There was no way to prepare, no warning. In the middle of the interview with Brozone, fires took over everything. Fires, sirens, monsters that once looked like friends, all overwhelming the senses. Kid was found hiding in the corner of a walk-in freezer, shivering from both shock and the cold. Though still jumpy and emotional, he's slowly opening up while in Brozone's care. He won't ever say it, but he's terrified at the idea of Brozone abandoning him to go to Bergen Town. Veneer. Status unclear. 2 weeks since the prisons have been abandoned. 2 weeks since Veneer has been left locked in his cell, alone. There's no one left for him. There's no way to leave. His sister won't leave him alone. You be Ryu and I'll be Ken. No, I want to be Cammy. Boy, why on earth would you want to be Cammy? Fells, I'm so sorry. This was all my fault. I did this to you. I'm sorry, I did this, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did this. I didn't mean for this to happen. It's my fault, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yikes, dude, just imagine that. Imagine, like, you are locked in a cell and a zombie apocalypse starts and you can't get out of the cell, but your infected family member is outside of the cell, infected, trying to get to you and just tormenting you for like days on end. Oh my god, that would... Dark. Jesus, dude. By the way, I'm gonna let this video play of the depiction of that because it is a little loud, but you just gotta see it. It's super creepy, I'm telling you right now. Dude, imagine like scrolling through TikTok and you just like randomly see that in a For You page. I'm just, ugh. That's kind of how I felt whenever the infection AUs were like at their peak, and I was just my For You page in the middle of the night was just like that. Oh my god, dude, that's Maron. Oh,
Poppy, we need to show you something. Poppy? Poppy, we gotta go after him. He's trying to warn us. We have to find it. Poppy, Gristle, we're not gonna leave him behind. Right? Poppy, we can't afford the risk. We'll look into it though, okay? I'll check up on you later, Poppy. I told you we should have said a word. And what? Lie to my best friend, you jerk. I can't accept this. I gotta find Branch, whether they go with me or I go alone.
Poppy. Status negative. Angered by King Gristle's incompetence in finding Branch, Poppy chooses to search for him alone. With each day spent scouting, her search list narrows. With each infected killed, her heart hardens. Every day, Poppy thinks of Branch's voice and remember his words. Truer than ever before. The world is not all cupcakes and rainbows. King Gristle Jr. While not directly harmed by the ongoing outbreak, King Gristle Jr. has been stressed by the new responsibilities he had to take on to support his troll allies. Now a new concern with Bergen children going missing has caused panic throughout the town. After informing Poppy that the search for Branch will not be done, fights between him and Bridget have gotten more frequent. He loves his wife, but he can't help but worry about his future. Guy Diamond. First it was Keith, now Tiny Diamond has gone missing. With the rise of Bergen children disappearing, Pop Village Nursery has begun to experience the same mysterious issue. Guy Diamond is no longer fit to be Pop Village's nanny. The overwhelming wave of grief and guilt has gotten to him. Tiny Diamond is missing. Keith is missing. Chanel. Status negative. Still in shock and disbelief, Chanel struggles to process her grief despite constant pressure from medical staff. She's insistent on staying with Satin. Refusing to cut their hair, as much as she loves her sister, finding herself stuck in a glass room has been taking a toll on her. It's a strange feeling to be grieving over someone you haven't yet lost. Satin. Status infected. Stage 3. With Satin and Chanel's conjoined condition, it's a miracle that only one of them tested positive. Satin is usually docile but can be increasingly aggressive when attempts are made to move her. Satin shares similar symptoms to Delta's case, classifying her at Stage 3, intense swelling, leaking orifices, and self-destructive behavior. The dark fluid has been identified as decomposed fungal tissue and white blood cells.
Daddy! Found you.
Well, hey there, little guy. You're pretty far away from home, aren't you? Now don't mind me. Girl's starving.
But I always knew that in the end, no one was
Vel, stop! I give up. I'm so sorry. All you wanted was to be seen, to be loved. And I took that away from you. Just do it already, Velvet! Veneer Green. Status immune. After intense efforts led by Bridget's search and rescue team, Keith and Tiny Diamond have been found in less than 36 hours, wrapped in a clean white handkerchief. Although shaken up, the children seem to be in good condition. Countless questions were asked to Tiny, all attention directed to him. Very little were answered, as Tiny could only recall seeing a tall man, with long hair, and a leopard-printed firearm. Meanwhile, the number of Bergens disappearing has steadily increased to concerning proportions, as well as the dramatic increase of missing trolls. The disappearance of Queen Poppy has unleashed a storm of outrage from her subjects, and all other trolls seeking refuge in Bergen Town. With the expanding rate of angered citizens becoming skeptical of King Gristle and Bridget's relationship, rumors have begun escalating at a rapid pace. Most surrounding possible motives that Chef may have with working in the patient disposal unit. Some trolls found themselves furious with Bergen Town's singly dismissive attitude towards the missing queen. And sick trolls they seem to neglect so quickly. They have started to organize. Smidge. Status negative. Being the most furious of the remaining snack pack, Smidge has started to organize her fellow rage-filled comrades into an underground union. She seeks to boost the morale of her friends and help them find the strength to defend themselves from medical and social mistreatment. Smidge also leads the escape team for evacuees wishing to leave Bergen Town. Okay, I guess Smidge is like a cross between Troll, Harriet Tubman, and Lennon, I guess. Guy Diamond. Status negative. Distraught with not being able to see his son, Guy Diamond feels confused and resentful towards the facility that took Tiny away. He knows that Tiny is in the clear, so why are they keeping his son away from him? Guy Diamond is worried that Chef Baranski might do something to his son. Tiny Diamond. Status negative. After Tiny and Keith were found alive and returned to Bergen Town, both were quarantined. Clear communication was nearly impossible with them. Many questions were asked about the events leading up to their retrieval, and only small details were given about a tall man with long hair and a leopard-printed firearm. When screened, spores and other fungal material have been found in Tiny's hair. Even though a simple, sterile wash would have been efficient, Tiny Diamond took it upon himself to cut his hair. Stressed and unsure of his recovery time, Tiny has still not been approved to see his father yet. Keith. Status negative. Since his rescue, Keith has not spoken a word since the incident. Basic necessities have been provided, but without a proper nursery, little attention has been given to him by BMS staff. Keith hasn't been allowed any visitors. Chef Baranski. Accepted into the patient disposal unit, Miss Baranski finds herself thriving in her new work environment, disposing of deceased patients. Calls for group cremation, which Baranski grows to love doing. She also sees an untapped market with these discarded remains. Are you sure this is safe? I know so. Just him today? Actually, wait! I know space is running low, but please. My son. It's not safe here anymore. Okay. You did the right thing, by the way. Oh, Rachel. Poor girl.
Alright, now we've come upon the end. This is the last piece of the Trolls infectionau that was added on by the creator, Chairnoizes. And it ends on a very dark note. I'll just play and you'll see.
In the frost, it rests in peace with skin stolen from the children, like a beautiful dove in snow, quietly, alone, afraid, asleep. Where are the mothers, the owners who've manifested the children who now sleep in the snow? Why do you blame me? I'm scared of the feet I walk with, the teeth I grew in. I want to cry too.
The creator didn't really want to add on any more to this AU as they apparently got bored with it. So, I guess the aftermath, I guess, is up to the reader's interpretation. I don't know. Either way, I thought this was a very cool AU, and the art was really well done. It was very creepy. It was very, it seemed like it was mostly thought out, and I had fun with it, so... yeah, there you have it, folks. That is the Trolls infectionau by Chairnoizes. I really like that one, actually. I think I like it more than the MLP ones, because a lot of the MLP ones didn't really have, like, I don't know, as much going for it. I guess this one seemed like it had much more thought behind it. At least this is my opinion. It gave me real, like, 28 days and then 28 weeks later type vibes with it. As well as The Last of Us. So I really enjoyed that. I thought it was very good. So go support the original creator, Chairnoizes. I will leave a link in the description below if you can go check out their TikTok page and other stuff and going-ons they have. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I have something really special cooked up for you guys next time, okay? I believe it should be my next video. I'm trying to get this one out before the year is out, before New Year's, so be on the lookout for my special secret collaboration I have upcoming. It's just pretty fun to me because I have never done this before, so I don't want to spoil too much of it, so you'll just see what it is, okay? It's pretty fun. And as always, guys, just in case I don't see you, stay safe and have a good one. Goodbye. For some reason, the eyes of like the infected troll just remind me of like a little purple Furby I had as like a kid. And I remember, like, even as a kid, it, like, creeped me out. It wasn't like I was just oblivious to it back then or something. It was like I just was terrified of it and have little sayings. They would dance or be like, nom nom, if I put something in his mouth or whatever. But eventually I just got tired of it just sitting on my shelf and randomly making noises. So I just grabbed that little by its neck and just threw it as hard as I could in the closet. But keep in mind, I was low-key kind of scared of that thing. And I forgot about him for, like, maybe, like, 5 or 6 years. I think I was in high school when randomly in the middle of the night, it was like maybe like 1 or 2 in the morning, I heard like a weird little guttural dying electronic sound coming from the closet going like, feed me. And I think I peed myself a little bit. I don't remember. I was sweating. I remember that. I was sweating when I heard that. I do remember that. Like adrenaline shot through my body. And when daylight came, I rummaged through my closet and I found that damn Furby and it was dead. The batteries were finally dead, and I guess that was his last dying words, I guess. I know it's kind of unrelated, but it reminded me of that. I'm sorry. Moving on. Feed me, Willie!